Alright, this is the second video for Sylvanas on Heroic. This is going to be going over Phase 2, which is the part of the fight where you're running over a bunch of platforms and, you know, bridges that are being built by the NPCs that are following you and all that shit. So let's get straight into it. Hang on, let me find out where this even starts. Okay, here we go. Alright, so, just to start, probably the easiest mechanic of this entire phase is getting the interrupt of Ruin on Sylvanas. The whole purpose of this is you're basically chasing Sylvanas through these platforms, and in order to move the players forward, there's this Ruin cast that is done by her. It's a pretty long cast, and it just requires one interrupt to stop it. So very, very simple to get, and just kick it. Demon Hunters can go ahead and get the interrupt. There will be points in which you want to send a Demon Hunter ahead so that you're not shitting the bed of missing the interrupt and then wiping the raid group. So I just want to kind of point that out, and we should have a couple of Demon Hunters that should be able to do that. The other thing is one of the hardest parts of this phase, well, maybe easy for some people, but maybe hard for others, will be this Haunting Wave debuff. And just to show you a little bit of a video real quick of it, how it happens, is it sends these ripple waves out and will knock players back if they get hit. Basically trying to knock them off the platform. This is just something to dodge and does damage to you, and obviously you don't want to get hit because you'll get knocked off the edge. So focus up and don't let that happen. Funny enough, you know, a mechanic of this fight that isn't listed in the dungeon journal and that you won't see on like the Mythic Trap is the fact that there are holes in these platforms and you can get pushed down the hole. So it's very easy. It happens to a lot of guilds that are progressing on this fight. Every guild that's progressing on this fight always has some people run into a hole that the NPCs, I guess, left in there, or whatever the case is. But let's watch a video and I can walk us through step by step what we're doing on each platform and bridge. The first bridge and platform is super simple. Jaina or whoever raises it, maybe it's Bolvar, I don't fucking know. It's one of them, raises it. And then we run across. We'll have Slid's Roar, more than likely, or one of the roars. We'll have some movement speed to get across. And you want to try to get across as quickly as possible to avoid the... They may have removed it. But I know for a fact that there was on the PTR the things that would send you back, the things we were just talking about, the waves. So you do have to deal with 5 sets of Haunting Waves. So they may have moved it, or this may have changed. I'm not sure when BDG. I know they were one of the first guilds who killed it, but this may have changed. Let's check another video just to double check to make sure I'm not crazy. I think this is the beginning. Everybody runs through. I don't think she starts her thing yet. Yeah, she hasn't started her thing. One other thing to note is that there are only 2 specific points in this phase that you can actually attack Sylvanas, and she'll take like real damage and won't have the 99% reduced damage. It's not right there though. So she sends out 5 of those casts, or 4 of those casts. And this is very easy. This kind of bridge 1 and platform 1 is very easy. Now we're on platform 2, or bridge 2 and platform 2. We'll have another movement speed. This is where you need to run through and interrupt. You want to dodge these waves as you're getting near her. There's plenty of time, actually. This is not a race at all. Not critical at all, as long as you don't get pushed off. Now to rewind a little bit, I did want to point out that, like, yes, you can jump onto this platform right here, but you can't just run over this. If you don't jump, you'll fall through this crack here. That's intentionally done to kind of make players think they could just run across. So these holes that are in the platform, there's no collision here. You will just fall off. So don't let yourself fall off. Actually take your time, run through, dodge the waves, and then we get the interrupt on this. This is the first burn. You can interrupt late. It doesn't really matter here. You can interrupt immediately. It's not a huge deal. But this is the first burn. We want to get her down to 77% here. This is what we want to do, because she becomes unattackable after a certain point. So You run across the second bridge, you get the interrupt, you're dodging the waves, and now this is the first burn. This is where you're going to be possibly popping your cooldowns. You should be popping cooldowns here. Then there's the Veil of Darkness. Now this is just like in phase 1. The same effect happens. The difference though is that there are 3 different pools that she targets that you do not want to be in. If you are in there, that you will get that debuff that reduces the amount of healing you receive and all that other bullshit. So you want to run out of those and then run back in. The Shadow Dagger will come out, and then at this point, the boss is nearing the point where she takes no more damage. You'll see whenever the Banshee Wail goes out, she's actually going to stop taking damage when this Banshee Wail comes out. You can notice her health isn't going down. When the Banshee Wail goes out, all you need to do as a player is move out. You don't need to worry about your damage. The Banshee Wail does a lot of damage to players around you and silences players, so you got to really focus on not getting hit by this and not hitting other players with it. So everybody's just spread out because the boss is taking no more damage at that point. All right, so that we've covered Bridge 1, Platform 1, Bridge 2, Platform 2. Now let's go on to Bridge 3. We'll have another movement speed, and you want to dodge the Haunting Waves as well. And here we're going to deal with our first ad set. It's more important to be dodging waves than to fall through. What I see a lot happen to a lot of guilds here, because there's different permutations of these bridges that come up. This hole that this Demon Hunter is over, yep, people fall through that. And then this hole at the end over here, yep, people for sure fall through that. So it's very important to just take your time. Don't freak out. Dodge. You know, if you did Orgazoa or any other fight where, you know, Jaina, where you had to run through, just don't get hit by that shit. And then here, we're not worrying about these small ads. You can cleave them down. What we're worried about are the Goliath and the Soul Judge. That is most important that we kill those. Those are very important that we focus those ads down and kind of burn those ads. Really, really, really important. If you're targeted by one of these circles, you're moving out of the raid. That's all you need to do, is you just need to move out of the raid. That's it. You can get interrupted on these small ads. And then after this, should be pretty easy to do this next platform. Again, just dodge the holes in this. There's no waves coming during this fourth bridge. This is the 4th bridge to the 4th platform. So we've killed a bunch of ads. We focused the soldiers down, focused Goliath, and then now we're dealing with the 4th bridge and 4th platform. So in this one, we're going to be dealing with haunting waves during this, I believe. And there are going to be also orbs that spawn. And we want to make sure we just kind of focus any orbs that are far out. The other thing is that, of course, Sylvanas is doing the Ruin cast. Make sure to get that interrupt or else we will instantly die. This is all on the 4th platform. Remember, we're on the 4th platform. We are focusing down the Summoner and the Goliath. We want to make sure that we cleave down these orbs, but try to prevent the Summoner from spawning more orbs. So we can generally dodge or avoid another set of them. So Summoner is more important than the Goliath, and then you just focus the Goliath down. Now during this, there's another darkness cast. Anytime the screen goes dark, you can expect that there's going to be 3 pools that appear. You don't want to be in those, obviously, because it'll just be probably a wipe for the raid if anybody's in it. Now we're on the 5th. Now we're on this the fifth bridge leading into the 5th platform. This is absolutely the hardest platform to deal with here. Not only that, but as we're running, we're dealing with the Banshee Wail, which is where you need to be spread, which is, you know, not great, which is not fun to deal with. Yes, Demon Hunters can jump off and Fell Rush over there. That's fine. I'm not going to say no to it because it gives us more space. Just Kishi and Koru know what you're doing correctly. Or whoever else is playing Demon Hunter on this. This is the hardest one. This is where you're going to want to use your cooldowns that should be coming back up from the first burn. Very important that you're using your cooldowns here. You should have saved your cooldowns for this point. Obviously, we're nuking ads. We're getting interrupts. We're burning down the Soul Judge. We're burning down the Summoner. We're popping 3 different healing cooldowns on this. And then you're always moving out with those circles. Very, very, very important. This is a very dangerous, very, very dangerous phase. And then we're going to be also dealing with the I believe, yeah, more of the waves coming out. And then there's darknesses. So a lot going on platform 5. A lot happening here. This is the hardest one. A lot of mechanics to dodge. Kind of high DPS check. You don't want to be in that for very long. And then after this is actually pretty easy. You just go across. You're dodging Haunting Wave. I'll go over Haunting Wave in a second, but this is another burn. You're going to want to get her down to 73. They actually get her lower than 73 on this. It's fine if you get her to 73. Doesn't really matter here. So the hard part though is that you're going to deal with Haunting Wave, and as a melee, if you're in here, you have to actually back away. Don't do anything other than just like back away and don't get hit. They come out really fast and they'll just knock you off, and don't let that happen. So you just you don't need cooldowns for this. You just pop whatever you kind of had, and actually they got down to, yeah, they get past 73, but it doesn't really matter. You dodge the darkness circles, and then she'll phase at some point here. You can see that stage 3, phase 3 starting soon. And that's all of... I guess it's important to note, at the very end, there's a shit ton of ads that spawn, but there's nothing that you really need to worry about here. We all get teleported before we need to deal with those ads. So just like interrupt, pop personal, whatever. And then we'll get sent into phase 3. And that covers all of phase 2. Thanks for watching.